Anyone who likes coconut can just get away from me.
Coconut. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, I do.
You sound like such a child.
I'm sorry.
You like food that I don't like.
Unqualified expert.
So this week, we're talking about conspiracies. I personally have a conspiracy that Jake and James are two bears in human suits.
Why do you think me and Jake are bears?
Well,
I was right all along. As we go bounding off into the sunset as our true bear form.
I just want to come back to this. Why do you think we're bears?
There's evidence.
yeah.
Why the fuck are you giving things away?
I didn't say nothing. What have you got in store for us?
So,
Mash.
first we're going to sort of discuss some widely held conspiracy theories.
Go on then.
All right.
Go on then.
All right, I will.
On.
So,
lay on me. Tell me more.
we all know the obvious ones, like, is the Earth flat, which is...
Not.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
If anyone says the Earth is flat, I'll throw this ball at you in a second. Midway
that
through.
flat plane there, you mean?
Yeah, that disc. that disc.
You'll throw that disc at me.
If I hit you around the head with this mic, will it pick it up on there for evidence?
It'd probably kill me. They're heavy.
Yeah, they are quite weighty.
Great. Come here.
It was James in the attic with the microphone stand.
I don't know where this flat Earth theory's come from because
It's what they used to think about the Earth, though, isn't it? Before.
There's a gap where no
Astronomy.
one freaking believed it, and out of nowhere it just popped up again.
Oh no, I think people still believed it. They just didn't have a platform to voice those opinions.
Yeah.
But how? I don't get how people can believe the Earth is flat.
People believe in a ethereal being that dictates the creation of the universe.
Yeah.
But
believing that Earth is flat is...
It's not much more of a stretch.
No, for me, I can be honestly say in a straight face that there could be some form of higher being that helped the creation of the universe. That is possible. That is possible. You can't disprove that. It's been proven that the Earth is a spherical body.
I guarantee flat earthers are going to find this video. They always seem to find it when people are talking about it.
Yeah.
It's because they have as much facts to justify their position as people do with scientific facts.
Yeah.
They've got their own scientific
But
experiments that have
every
been
time
done.
they've tried to do the experiment. So, for example, there was one that went.
Yeah.
There's one that basically put a gyro to try and prove that it was flat, and then kept saying, "Oh, there's something wrong with our experiment." Yeah, because it's not flat. If it was flat, the motion of the moon, the tides would not work. Because you always go back to saying, "Oh, the moon landings were fake." It would have cost more money to fake the moon landings than to actually go to the moon. Because they literally strapped people to a massive rocket and fired them at the moon.
Yeah.
That is.
They did basically orc logic.
Yeah, they did. And
and also the moon landing one. The only reason there's doubt around it is because there's, I think, new research about the levels of radiation and like micrometers and stuff like that out in the atmosphere.
The belt around it.
Yeah, that there's so much between us and the moon that is potentially destructive and hazardous to a capsule and to humans.
Yeah.
That how did we do that, and we don't have that ability now? And I know a lot of that information has somehow been lost in the intervening time, but that's where the conspiracy comes from, because there's a lot of unanswered questions around it.
So the reason you see it, they know how to do it. They know the calculation, know how to do all of that, because they still go out to outer space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think about forging a sword. A lot of skills in forging a sword have been lost. Mm-hmm. People can't make katanas the way they used to properly because there was a big period where they weren't really used.
Yeah.
It's basically some of the skills have been lost.
Yeah.
If you went, okay, we're going to want to go back to the moon in the next 10 years, I guarantee you they would have everything worked out. If they gave them the money they needed, the equivalent money they had in the space race then, if you gave them the equivalent money now, they'd be able to do it. Because they would figure out the same mathematical problems.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just no one's doing it.
So, obviously, we've discussed like sort of the normal, everyday conspiracies that you hear.
Yep.
You know, the moon landing isn't real.
Birds aren't real.
Where has that conspiracy come from?
So this is something I was going to move on to. Is crazy conspiracy theories like birds aren't real.
I've got a crazy one that I made up.
You've got one.
Yeah. It's not a conspiracy theory, but it's like a personal one more than
Yeah.
anything, which I always thought was fun. It's not one that I believe, but it's like a fun thought experiment. And wouldn't it be funny if, you know how some people say, oh, you know, life's a simulation, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What if all the deities and stuff that we've heard of, take Jesus for example, walking on water and all that kind of stuff, that's a player outside of reality who's like using God mode hacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like they've brought in this Jesus character and they're doing crazy stuff and the system just hasn't like clocked on. And once they've clocked on that somebody's using like hacks and cheats, they then like find a way to influence reality so that they're like taken out. And that's where we've got all these stories of like gods and stuff from.
Yeah.
I like
It's just people outside the simulation going, hey, I've got this new God mode hack. You wanna give it a try? And then they come in as Zeus and start doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's
Like,
quite
can you
cool.
imagine? We're just really boring pawns in some really sophisticated
I mean,
game.
who bloody were NPCs pretty much?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a game world, and people keep just hacking it once every. Like, would you either the system's been updated now to a point where you can't really get hacks anymore, or would you someone new coming in with a hacked character to do some crazy stuff?
My conspiracy, now this is a little bit darker and I'm quite certain on this, is most technology and items that you've done that you need to replace. So for example, your cars,
Yeah.
parts. Most parts, they could make something that would last forever.
Okay.
But they intentionally make them have a life, so it breaks and you either have to buy a replacement or a newer model. So I think there's a conspiracy within corporations and like companies to make it so people have to constantly buy things that could make them
Could last forever.
Could last forever.
Yeah.
This Apple found guilty of this recently.
Yeah, slowing down all the phones.
Yeah.
But that for me, while it's wrong, it's always going to happen. Older technology is always, in regards to computing, is always going to be eventually obsolete because it's just not got the computing power to do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Whereas Apple, they intentionally put limiters
They
on,
throttled it.
which is wrong, which is something slight. But when it comes to the same point,
Just on a wider point of what you have is that a lot of companies do that.
Do.
Yeah, they do.
It's not just. I don't think it's just car companies. I think a lot of companies. So like, you know, obviously drinks companies, they
Sorry,
put stuff
continue.
in that
Sorry.
makes you thirsty and want more and all that stuff. And yeah.
everything's getting more expensive, but everything's getting less. So for example,
Shrinkflation.
yeah. So you think about the size of a chocolate bar. A Cadbury's chocolate bar used to be.
That one was bad.
Fumbled that.
That one was bad. Cadbury's chocolate bar.
chocolate bar.
Okay.
Chocolate
If
bar.
you think about a Cadbury's chocolate bar, the size we used to get as we were growing up,
Yep.
or a Yorkie bar,
Yep.
it's the size of that, and the pricing,
Toblerone.
Toblerone, was cheaper.
Freddo.
Freddo,
Give Freddo you sunshine.
even going down McDonald's, for example,
Yeah.
the size of the portions you used to get were bigger. It's now got more expensive but smaller.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like when I know obviously when you're growing up, everything seems a bit bigger, but giggity. Like when I was a kid, you used to have a Big Mac from McDonald's. Okay, and it felt like a large.
It's massive. Yeah.
Now I've always
God,
been.
it's so big. Can't even fit it in my hand.
I know, right? I've always been. He's broken.
Tom's gone again. Oh
But
dear.
it feels massive in this hand.
Damn, this is the big boy. How am I going to eat all of this?
Take my strong hand.
I can't even fit it all in my mouth.
My germs. What did you call it? Shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation.
Yeah.
Shrink.
So everything's getting smaller, but everything's more expensive, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
A box celebrations, got it for Christmas, used to be like a proper, like probably a tin.
Did you see that? I don't know if it was on the radio or something that I heard it. Somebody had started like writing down how many chocolates they got in a box of like celebration, and it's like it's something like 1998 or 2002 or something like that, and it's 130 or 140 chocolates, and then you like follow it all the way down to like modern day, and it's like 34 chocolates.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
And I'd just like to say, and in addition to that, throughout that list of going down, there's still far too many bounties.
Incorrect. But that's okay.
No,
Yeah.
it is correct.
No,
Bounties,
whoa.
bounties are a pointless chocolate.
You're a pointless chocolate.
Rude.
How dare you?
Okay,
But
stop.
disgusting.
Stop.
Disgusting.
How dare you?
Anyone who likes coconut can just get away from me.
Coconut. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, I do.
You
actually,
sound like such a child.
I'm sorry.
You like food that I don't like? Get
See,
off my
yeah,
planet
you don't like
Earth.
tomatoes.
What a goon. Alright, what a goon. I'll have ketchup. Alright, that's tomatoes.
If I put a slice of tomato in front of you, you'd be like, "Oh, get away from me."
I'd be like, not for me, thanks. I don't like tomato. I wouldn't then be like, you're wrong. Get out of my house, you scoundrel. Would I? Not like you. They've put coconut. They've put coconut in my assorted chocolates that I can actively
I
choose
will
not to
disconnect
have.
your mic. Stop it.
I just don't understand how you can.
I don't
eat it
understand
with the texture of coconut. I don't understand how anyone could just put it in the mouth and enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
would
don't
say the same about tomatoes, though. So what?
All right then.
All right then.
Good.
Cool.
Fine.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
You done?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Wonderful.
All right. As we were saying,
So obviously we'd sort of strayed into. I did want to start off with crazy conspiracies there. We sort of strayed into conspiracies we believe, which was the next point. But we'll just go back to crazy conspiracies because I feel like we hadn't really covered that quite well, which is birds aren't real. It's got to be a meme or something. It's got to be one of them that started off as a meme and then...
Well, I heard it on stream.
Yeah.
When Pro was saying it, and was like, right. I don't
Yeah.
know where that's come from. It's probably come from Reddit or somewhere.
Yeah.
I reckon. We'd have
Does
to-
Pro doesn't actually believe that.
I don't know.
Pro,
And I'm
if
too
you're watching
afraid
If
this,
you are
ask.
watching this, which
please
we
let us
assume you
know if
are.
you believe.
Yeah, something about how birds are like a construct
Yeah.
for like government surveillance.
My understanding is I think it started off life as a meme, which I think a lot of conspiracy theories do. They start life off as a meme and then all of a sudden,
Talking shit.
and then someone hearing it and taking them literally because
Oh my god, the birds aren't real.
what?
I must tell more people about this
No, all of a sudden there's a movement.
and add my own law to it.
Another conspiracy is, do you think the governments of the world are covering up just that much extensive exposure to the Chernobyl disaster has affected Western civilization?
Covering it up.
So basically, how much the fallout of the radioactive cloud
Yeah.
has affected cancer rates since the 1980s. So if you think about when we were growing up, most of us were told 1 in 3 of us would be affected by someone, either get cancer or be affected by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That rate has massively exploded.
Of course.
Now most people think it's every other person is either gets cancer or is exposed to someone that gets it.
Is that in part though due to the fact that medicine has improved?
I don't really know what to take on it. It was
Yeah.
more. It's a conspiracy. When we've done research on this, I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to take on it because one part of me saying I could see governments doing that,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it.
but the other part of me saying there's just so many governments that are enemies, they'd want to throw the blame on each other. Would
So
they?
why wouldn't someone? Yeah.
And that's my. What do you think on that?
I think it's personally perfectly possible. I mean, just looking at some of the examples of conspiracies that have become true. So, for example, MK Ultra, NSA surveillance, the prison program.
Yep.
The NSA surveillance one for me isn't that big of a thing. I've always, even before that, I've always assumed that the government was like monitoring people.
watching.
AI does it now. You start talking next to an Alexa about anything, and you'll find on your Amazon adverts for that
For
thing.
that, yeah.
Just as a fun little thing, if any of you can leave in the comments how many of your Alexas got triggered by James saying Alexa just then,
And just again now.
and just again now.
There you go.
Alexa, set an alarm for 8 a.m.
Alexa, subscribe to the Unqualified Experts podcast.
I like it.
Alexa, play a fart noise.
Alexa, add 50 grams of beef jerky to shopping list.
Alexa, purchase all shopping list.
Alexa, play Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Alexa, full volume.
We're just messing with people's Alexas.
Someone's
now.
like, no, stop! And if someone's listening to us in the distant future and they've got an Amazon car, Alexa, turn off the engine.
Alexa, full accelerator.
Oh,
I just got
it's
to
one
say,
of
with
those
just
things
people
of-
scrabbling around the back house, just going, get up, stop, stop.
Like,
so I want to come back to the thing about the government's like monitoring their citizens.
yeah.
It's a double-edged sword for me because one side of it is I don't like the idea of someone listening into all my stuff. The other side of it is my brain goes to if you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
It's
Come on. Come on.
I'm trying to have a
He's cracking up because James said a double-edged sword, and it made it look like I was looking at one side of a sword, and then flipped my hand over when he said the other side. He's being childish.
So yes, going back to the government listening, if you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to hide. But that's once again, it's a very dangerous statement. You think about how many dangerous organisations there are out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If, for example, I use, the Manchester bombings, horrible thing. If that could have been stopped by someone listening, yes, invasion of privacy, would that matter to you as a parent, or a person going there that was stopped by someone, by a government that's potentially bent the rules a little bit, or would you just be happy that it was stopped?
It would still matter to me.
Which is fair enough. It's
still the not like just because it's been used to prevent something and some good has come from it doesn't then make the whole premise of it a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's been used in a good way one time.
Which is fair enough, and it is a very moral conflict. Like I can't say I'm on either side, but it's just wait. What about you, Tom? What side would you?
I mean, I agree with Jake. It's a case of would you be okay with just giving up your individual freedom just for people to sleep a bit easier? I guess.
I couldn't answer. I think because I'm as you both know, my brain is a bit skewed because I've seen both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that your apocalypse brain doesn't engage for stuff like that.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Because I think I'd expect you to be like, well, you give up that one freedom, and then all of a sudden it's something else, and then it's something else, and it's something else.
But then my other side, my one. That's my one side saying, coming back to, we've had a funny joke about it. My thing of like innocent until proven guilty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is that, but then the other side of me saying, I know how many dangers there are out there, and sometimes you do have to bend the rules. But then it comes down to the question of, do the ends justify the means?
Yep.
And that's where my brain is. One side of it is, you know what, there's bad people out there, we need to use all the tools available to us. But the other side is, no, we need to be better than the people that we're trying to stop, which is protecting our rights and that.
Exactly.
And
The only real problem is, and not to get too politically deep into it, is that's how fascist governments get into power, is they use stuff like that and they introduce little by little. They don't. The thing about that a lot of people don't understand about fascistic governments is they don't go full tilt.
It's not even fascist. I would say dictatorships? Is it
Yeah.
Any dictatorship or
Yeah.
totalitarian state, whether it's right wing, left wing, centre, whatever, because it can be either. They, like you said, it happened in communist Russia, it happened in fascist Germany, it happened in fascist Italy.
Yeah.
You know what? It happened here. It happened in Spain, in France, Spain. It's not an instant.
Yeah, they don't go full tilt straight away.
They don't. It's little by little. So for us, it happened during the revolution under Oliver Cromwell. It was only little by little that he went from being just a member of Parliament to then becoming the Lord Protectorate. They didn't take it over away at once, did it? He went little by little. Before you know it.
Little by little.
Yeah. So I do get it, and that's.
away your rights.
Have you got any conspiracies then, Jake? That you like personal ones or?
I used to follow the bigger ones that were like like 9/11 being an inside job and all that. I used to watch tons of videos and stuff like that about it being a controlled demolition and all those stuff like that is super interesting because you're like, it's the same with how I imagine the flat Earth people feel, that there's just enough of the reality in it that you're like, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. That's convincing enough.
I myself will now at this present time 100% believe 9/11 was not. That when you see some of the evidence they present, if you are that distrustful of the government, I can see why people would. I can see why they would believe it. I don't agree with it, but you're there going, if you're that distrustful of people because of things like MK Ultra, the WikiLeaks stuff, I can understand that you're going to be distrustful of the same government telling you, well, this was that. I can get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same reason why people say Pearl Harbor was like known about by both the British and the American administration.
Yeah. I mean, Imitation Game, they do what was it? I forget what exactly. Was it Brighton or something?
So, Bletchley Park.
That's it. Yeah. They knew it was going to happen, but they let it happen anyway.
No, they didn't, because Bletchley Park was only the Germany's Enigma cipher.
Yeah.
Germany didn't know it was going to happen because when Japan declared war on America, Germany was caught on the wrong foot, and Hitler brashly reacted to declare war on America. Mm-hmm. His own force didn't even know that he was going to do it.
Yeah,
the Japanese basically went for we've got to land one knockout blow that no one in the world's going to see coming. We're going to do Hannibal over the Alps. Yeah. No one's going to expect it. Mm-hmm. That's why it's going to work. And they went, we're going to have there was no radio contact. It was all done radio silent. So there's no way to track them.
Yeah.
The Americans knew something was up.
Yeah.
But they thought they were going to attack the Marshall Islands or Wake or Midway. No one, or even the Philippines, no one expected them to go against all military tactics, and no one could have predicted they would because people don't realise the distance they travelled, because you have to do resupplies en route on these big ships. They don't carry enough fuel, because the reason why after the Pearl Harbor the Americans couldn't just attack the Japanese mainland was because they couldn't get there that easy. The Japanese took all their fleet and then travelled pretty much halfway between Hawaii and Alaska, and then came down. Mm-hmm. So no shipping routes, no flights.
Mad.
Did people suspect Japan were going to attack? Yes. Did they know what they were going to do? No. Are the Americans going to listen to the British when we've already been telling them to join the war, when we go, oh, by the way, Japan's about to attack you? Are they balls? They're going to think
they wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
They're going to think the exact same thing as when we told them that Mexico was going to invade them in the First World War. Mexico was never going to invade them.
They wouldn't dare.
Oh my God, they did the thing. They did it. They did the thing you said they were going to do.
Well, interesting little fact for you. The Japanese learned how to do Pearl Harbor from a British Navy raid on the Italians in the Mediterranean.
Winston Churchill to Hirohito, where did you learn how to do this? I learned it from watching you.
It's obviously, I don't know whether they had the idea to attack Pearl Harbor before that, but the idea for the actual execution was based on a British raid.
Our manoeuvres. Our cool guy moves.
So
our breakdancing moves.
There you go, nice little interesting factoid.
Have we got time for a Tom's terrible take?
Lay it on me.
Lay it on you. So this is just, if you've been on TikTok at all recently,
What's TikTok?
What's TikTok? You know.
Talk of Tick?
Yeah, the Talk of Tick.
Oh, but we might be banned by then.
Yeah. Is it Vine or?
Yeah. If you've been on the Talk of Tick recently, you'll have seen these. So there's this account that posts supposedly predictions for the future and states that he's a time traveller. I don't know if you've seen these.
I haven't, but I need to.
Yeah, so he states that he's a time traveller and he makes all these predictions. So he does it like ahead of time. So there's like ones in September of last year saying all this stuff's going to happen towards the end of 2024.
Okay.
It doesn't happen. None of it happens.
Of course.
Yeah, he's got loads. He's currently got a couple of videos up saying what's going to happen over this year.
Excellent.
I guarantee people will be going back to the video and going, well, this didn't happen.
Well done.
This didn't happen. And it's just, it's mental the amount of accounts there are on TikTok that just get away with just
It's smart though.
It is smart because it gets people to come back to the content.
Yeah.
What's the take?
What?
What's the take?
That is the I think the terrible take is just that people can just upload whatever they want and just get away with it, basically.
It's a smart way. They'll get
You get the views.
Get the views in.
They get
Yeah.
the views in.
Get the moolah, baby.
Because people want
Payment.
people will come back for future videos. They'll like and subscribe. They'll share the video. They'll then come back to the video and comment.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it works, it works. I get it. I get what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a shit practice, but look at people like Jake Paul who have capitalised on people really disliking him as a person. Like,
Yeah.
he just plays on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
KSI does it as well, as far as I'm aware. Like,
Yeah.
when people have a negative opinion of it, he just hams it up.
feeds it into it,
he hates it because it sells.
All right, I think that's going to be it for this week, guys.
You reckon?
Yeah,
why?
Says it.
says the time.
He thinks he's in charge now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Why am I between two children? Why can you not just get along and be friendly to each other?
Turn on James.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Okay,
You
cool.
can 100% turn on me, and I'll just maul you both.
Ooh, I'm so scared.
Oh, I'm shaking in my
He's gonna
little.
maul us, Tom.
I'm shaking in my little space boots.
I'm gonna lash out. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it. Ooh.
I think you mean lash out.
Come on, his bottom lip's going now. Leave him alone.
I think you mean lash out.
Leave him.
Lash out.
He's making fun of your accent.
Yeah.
Someone take Mick out someone's accent.
I know, it was just
It was. It was. Yeah. I'm not even gonna. I'm
Come
not
on,
even
we
gonna try and
waited
back
like
that one.
20 minutes
Right.
to
Anyway.
wrap this up.
Anyway.
I know, because you're at wrapping stuff up, because all you do is give insults, and all you do is encourage him because you're a friend.
That's a joke about you not wearing condoms as well. You can find us on all the
You're
right
a joke.
media. You find us on YouTube, TikTok.
Why is
You
everyone...
can't put stuff that's true in the podcast.
Yeah, I can. That's the whole point, isn't it? We speak our truths.
Right. Anyway. Find us on all the platforms.
We're on all of it.
Not that one that you're thinking of right now.
Oh, we are.
Only on YouTube, Spotify,
TikTok. They're like the
Twitter.
main three that we care about.
Yeah.
Twitter, aren't we? We are, well, X, whatever.
Twitter? What's a Twitter?
Wait, X.
X.
Why? Yeah, you know what? Let's not get into that.
Right, okay. Find us.
Find us, but
Before
don't
we find
us.
you.
No, don't insult the viewer. We want them to come back.
It's not
okay?
insulting. It's threatening.
Find us before we find you.
Don't put that. Someone will turn up at your door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try it.
What should they do when they get to those,
So
those places?
if you do find us on those places, you can give us a little like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Tell us what your favourite conspiracy theory is.
share it with your friends.
Share it with me.
Who knows? Anyway, thank you so much for joining us.
Adios, amigos.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Sweet dreams, and watch out, because they're coming for you.
Who will come in?
Unqualified expert.